doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fucking so good.
We figured out this
Unbelievably
technology
good.
thing.
Dude, the fucking hurdle that this it causes for being not tech savvy people is unbearable.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not often that when the world is in shutdown that you're trying to start new endeavors, but this is the type of thing that people can start doing. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that are trying things like this and starting with the weird technology, not starting at normal and then figuring out the technology. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
people
yeah,
have so
yeah.
much extra time. So I think it's fairly common for people to like be trying these things in this kind of weird technological world we're living in.
Yeah, dude, I saw a thing that like there's over 700,000 published podcasts just on the iTunes library. Dude,
Wow.
that's like almost that's so much fucking content. And you think about like some of those podcasts have been going on for 10 years, so there's thousands of episodes. So you literally, I don't think you in your lifetime you can listen to all the fucking podcasts out there. And
There
trust me,
is
I'm
no
trying. I'm
way.
fucking trying, okay? All day, every day. I'm trying to burn through it.
Dude, that's how
I
I feel about music. Like, there's no way I can listen to all the like music, even if I narrow it down to only culturally relevant music.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna get through all of it. And
No,
then you
there's
know
like
what? They keep coming out with more. I can't keep up with it.
some SoundCloud rapper always has something new, dude. Always.
Well, yeah.
There's
That's not.
always gonna be the next mumble rapper with his fucking face tattoos. He's like, guess what? New tracks every day.
No offense to those guys. That's not exactly what I meant by culturally relevant. But
Dude, don't be close minded, man. Maybe you might like some of it. There's some of it that's good.
no, maybe.
Definitely not. Definitely not. None of
No,
it's good.
what I'm saying though is like I originally come up with like rock and roll, right? Rock and roll is
Yeah.
out of the blues. And so I go back to like Robert Johnson, right? 1927, I think, was the only recordings he did.
Hmm.
You're talking about I'm trying to go back and like get my base for some of these things. Like, okay, if I want to understand blues, I should go back to the 20s. So, I'm listening to him. There's no way I got time for mumbo jumbo mumbo rapper on fucking SoundCloud.
First of all, Devin, I want to clear a few things up here because you're the oldest fucking man in the world. If you're going back in time to 1920 to listen to old blues, just so you can get a better understanding of the modernity of rock and roll, and meanwhile you don't know who fucking Lil Pump is, what the fuck are you
Hey,
doing?
hey, I've heard the name Little Pump. Okay.
You don't need to, dude. You don't need to.
Yeah, but I heard his name though. That's pretty good for me. No,
Yeah.
okay. If I was just like if I was just a guy just because I love the blues, but okay. First of all, Robert Johnson is a legend. So I
Hmm.
it's good shit. Like I think people
Yeah.
should give it a shot. It's hard because today in our world we have all this like produced stuff in front of us, like visually appealing like Marvel movies and all this like technology to make music sound really good. So it's really hard a lot of times for I think people to get into that because the sound quality is not great. I mean, it's fucking 1927.
Yeah.
It's a guy in a room with a guitar. There's no overdubs, nothing. But there's a lot of really good like material in there. So I do think people should look into it. It's not like this is like a niche guy. This guy, I mean, you look at quotes from all kinds of people, like fucking Mick Jagger and Keith Richards will have quotes talking about Robert Johnson. Um, but yeah, if I was just doing it just because like the blues, but for me it's like a performance thing, to get
No,
better,
I mean I get it.
get
I get
better
it.
at music, understand
I get it.
the things that came before.
No,
I
I
mean,
get it because
yeah, I
like
am old man. You can call me old man if
you
you
are. No, and so am I because like I do the same shit, but I do it with like uh like Richard Pryor albums or like early George Carlin stuff or
yeah,
like early Robin Williams YouTube videos or fucking like
yeah.
the things that like that pertain to what I like to do as
Dude,
far
that
as like
shit. Some of that
actually
shit
doing
is
stand up.
awesome.
Yeah,
That
dude,
shit is
it's
cool.
actually like there's dude, Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip, I think, is
Mm-hmm.
that concert hall recording, dude. I like it's crazy to think that a guy in the 70s, obviously he's a big superstar and like a huge influence on most comedians, but like
Yeah.
he was so much funnier, than most comedians today.
Yeah, it's
He's like the
that's
Michael Jordan, like just the unsheer fucking powerhouse of just comic timing. That's something that like I don't know. It's like those once in a lifetime people, and he was one of them. And then you watch Eddie Murphy, and you're like, oh fuck, he's also one of them.
yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
watch Dave Chappelle, and you're like, oh fuck, there's
Yeah,
another
there's
one.
like that generational,
Yeah, you just
like it
see,
got passed down. Richard Pryor
yeah, you
influenced Eddie
see it.
Murphy. Richard Pryor then later, not much later, but later, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, like Eddie Murphy was like all of the '80s basically. He
Yep.
ruled the roost. He was the
Yeah.
comedian.
The leather fucking
Yeah,
pants and the jacket, and
dude, he was it. He
he's
was
on
like
top
the
of the
icon.
world.
And then the '90s, it was like Dave Chappelle was like the budding, exploding comedian.
Yeah. People were all over him.
Dude, he was a superstar. But then
Yeah.
he left. He basically just
Yeah.
like,
His story's a little bit different.
well, what's
But
crazy though is he comes back and then he's like, nah, I'm picking up right where I left off. And he's once again the most famous comedian in the world, which is, that's just a testament to how funny he fucking is.
yeah, the specials he's put out since he's come back, those Netflix specials, what's there
Yeah.
like? Four
There's four. There's four. And
four of them?
he
Yeah.
did two in 1 year, I think.
Yeah, there was the two. Yeah, it's like he released it as like two and then
Yeah.
two more, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyways, I've watched all of them. Those things are great. Those are awesome. And it's
Yeah.
like you said, it's like he didn't miss a beat. He's like, "Hey,
Which
I'm
is,
coming back."
well, I think he was like still like touring and maybe just like going up in clubs and
Oh
stuff in
yeah,
his
I mean
off time.
he kept. I'm sure he kept his skill up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You have to, but like just the
well, he might
sheer,
not have to, but
he might not have to, dude. He might just
if
be one of
anybody
those
doesn't
guys.
have to, it's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, dude. He just walks in there and you're like, oh fuck, get ready, guys. We're about
Yeah,
to fucking laugh our ass off.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. He's the funny. They're all black. I didn't even think about that before we said it, but
yeah.
maybe that
Well, it's
they're just
it's like
funnier.
it's probably like a cultural like style of comedy that Richard Pryor then influenced,
Eddie
right?
Murphy
Eddie
and then
Murphy.
Dave Chappelle.
They have like they have
Yeah,
similar cultural backgrounds because of that. Maybe is the correlation because I mean obviously throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s there were all kinds of phenomenal and groundbreaking
yeah,
comedians. But those guys seem to have like a clear influence path. Right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I,
think it's probably just because, the black culture and that influence. We might
yeah,
guess. I
that's
don't know.
possible. It
Possible
could just be
correlation.
possible correlation, but it's just funny. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything, but it's just interesting that the
Yeah.
funniest people that I can think of, and that's not even. Like, not to say that that's the only type of comedy I enjoy. Like, I like all types, but
Yeah.
like in my mind, the three funniest guys to ever do it were all. They were all black. So like, I wonder. I don't know. It's not like you can scientifically fucking break
Yeah.
down how that is, but
Or
it's
it's
interesting.
just the way it is and they just
Yeah,
it's coincidence, right?
dude,
I
I'm not mad
mean,
about it. I love
yeah,
it.
whatever.
The funniest, as funny as funny, dude. No matter
Yeah, that's true.
anything, but at the end of the day, those guys, they're the funniest.
They're
I don't care
pretty
who
good.
you are.
Yeah.
If Louis C.K. if he could have just kept his dick in his pants, he would be on Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
for me.
Dude, he was before the whole thing came out.
Dude, it's so weird because like I've had this discussion with a lot of people. Like, I really, really enjoy his comedy. Like every album, I watched his new special. I even paid for it. I paid the $8 on his website. Watched it.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Well, I've
And
watched they had Chewed Up and Hilarious were on Netflix for like years. I probably watched each of those like
yeah,
8
yeah.
times each.
And even the 2017 one that he did,
Yeah.
so good.
Well, that's still on there. I
Yeah,
watched that. I
yeah,
watched that again actually after the whole thing, but like way after.
yeah.
And I'm just kind of like
Ooh.
I'm gonna try to watch this. I'm gonna try to watch this to just remove
Yeah,
the comedy from the situation, right?
yeah.
And just try to appreciate the special for what it is. I I don't
Well,
know. I mean, that shit. There's some good jokes in there. It's fucking
I
funny. I
mean,
mean, the guy.
divorce from whatever happened. He's incredible. You know what's even
Yeah,
funnier? Think about this, dude. The precursor to Richard Pryor was fucking Bill Cosby. He was doing it in the 50s on
yeah,
the late night show.
yeah. That's true.
What the fuck, dude? That's so weird. Isn't that so weird that he was
Yeah,
like the foundation, he was like the starting point, and then like Richard Pryor, he's like, I'm gonna do it a little differently. I'm gonna do how people really talk, and then he started doing stand up, and he was like, he started out all squeaky clean, and then he was like, nah, that's just not who I am. Then he starts talking how he would normally talk,
yeah,
and starts doing stand up how he would normally talk to in everyday life, and that just explodes, and that changes the whole genre, the whole style.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
meanwhile, that house is built on a guy who was up to
He's
no
like,
good.
yeah. If there's a pinnacle of in recent years sexual assault scandals, he is it. Like he's
Yeah,
you have all
it's
these
him and Harvey Weinstein, dude.
Amy Harvey Weinstein, yeah, and well, yeah, and the whole Bill Cosby thing came out before Harvey Weinstein. So before Harvey Weinstein and all that stuff started blowing up,
Yeah,
I mean, he was like the example
dude. I'll
of
tell you the four
sketchy
horsemen.
fucking rich dude.
Dude, the four horsemen of guys who touch people against their will is it's Bill Cosby, it's uh, it's Harvey Weinstein. Unfortunately, I think Louis C.K. is part of that, and then finally it's Jeffrey Epstein, dude.
Jeffrey Epstein, yeah.
Yeah, I
Wait,
think
so
he's part of that.
I don't I don't feel like Louis C.K. belongs in that.
No, I'm not saying he does. I don't think his crimes are on par with any of those guys, but I think somehow just within the conversation of the
Oh,
whole Me Too
you
movement, he was put in
yeah.
there.
I see. So
You see what I'm saying?
the ones that are kind of
The figureheads, yeah,
figurehead, yeah.
yeah,
Figurehead's not the greatest word because you usually want to be a figurehead.
yeah, yeah. Whatever the
Whatever,
reverse
but
of
yeah, you
that
know what I'm
is.
saying. He's the the yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the term would be, but figurehead works. That's what I
the
was thinking, but I was trying to come up with a better term. But
the antichrists. I don't know. Just whatever
yeah,
the
there
fucking
you go. The fucking antichrist of the movement. That was
yeah, the
yeah.
four horsemen. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it's weird though, because you think about what Louis did was not chill. Probably
Not at
just
all.
not at all. Not
Not at
chill.
all.
Not
Gotta
chill.
preface
Right.
everything with that. It's definitely not chill.
Was not great. But here's my point: is that
This is where you start getting into trouble.
this is where I start getting in trouble. But just hang on
But
with me.
ooh,
Wait a second. Let me finish my argument. One guy, Bill Cosby, raped over 50 women, which is horrendous.
yeah,
Harvey Weinstein used all of his power and privilege to do the same thing to a countable amount of women.
yeah.
Uh, Jeffrey Epstein
It
uh,
was like
trafficked children and
it
trafficked
was
kids.
like a whole
He
operation.
orchestrated a child pedophile ring. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
in
like
itself is an absurd, like the most evil thing you could do.
yeah,
And
because
then
that's
Louis,
not like Bill Cosby's like a obviously
he's one of the
what he
most
did was
prolific serial
awful.
rapists in the world, dude.
Yeah, what he's doing is like he's just killing people. Let's say as an again, he's just like a crime of passion murderer versus you have what Jeffrey Epstein did is like he's a dictator that runs a whole
Yeah,
nation of murdering people. You know what I mean? Like the the calculation
yeah.
behind
Oh,
it
yeah. No,
is
like he
what's
was.
even more spine chilling than just someone like, for example, I mean, I don't know, maybe Bill Cosby calculated too, but someone
I'm
like that
sure.
that's
I'm
just,
sure. Yeah,
it's like a one-man operation.
dude. How
Still
much?
fucked up, still creepy, but Jeffrey Epstein, thinking about what he did is, yeah, it's beyond him. It was like
Yeah, dude.
a something higher, some sort of higher organization of fucked upness.
Dude, how much do you know about the actual like case and the whole situation?
What I know is that he didn't kill himself.
Yeah. Okay. So you got that right so far. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Hold the bottom of your chair because I'm about to blow your fucking mind, dude.
Okay, yeah. So all I know is fuck, the problem is I read some of it and then I fucking forget
Yeah.
sometimes. So I haven't delved into it, so I haven't retained it. So
Okay.
why don't I hold on to my chair
Yeah.
and
Now
then
I'm just gonna
you
rip, dude. I'm gonna
you
rip and
yeah.
go for it because I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you exactly what this fucking guy was up to. Okay.
Okay.
So Jeffrey Epstein was a math teacher at a private school in upstate New York.
Okay. Did not
Okay.
know that.
Yep. He was a
Like high school level?
yeah, like a high school private school math teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow he opens up a mutual fund or starts managing a mutual fund.
Okay.
And somehow that mutual fund in its first 2 years is worth $500 million with some
Oh.
very seedy injections of cash. So he goes from teacher, very charismatic, lovable teacher, to mutual fund manager with $500
Yeah.
million worth of capital
Wall Street big shot.
that just kind of appeared, right?
Okay.
Suspicious. Okay.
Okay.
Years go by. He is making connections with all sorts of billionaires and political leaders and donors and fucking who's knows and he's just got his fucking fingers in all the pots, right? He
Yeah.
knows everybody. Allegedly, he was like a very charismatic, very charming man, which is kind of eerie when you think about what he did.
Well,
But
yeah, sometimes a lot of times psychopaths
yeah,
are.
yeah. Well, this guy was the fucking epitome of that because he managed to work his way into all these like socialite circles and then be like, hey, you want to invest in my mutual fund? And then they come over and have a meeting, and then all of a sudden he's got some let's say not of age women available to these people. Meanwhile, his whole house is fucking it's got like 45 cameras in it with all sorts of recording devices that the uh New York police found, and somehow the footage just it's gone. Yeah, it's crazy how that works, right?
Yeah.
He's got hundreds of hours of the most powerful people in the world doing unspeakable crimes, and all of a sudden it just
It's gone.
disappears. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know who's in
Weird.
control of that, dude. It's not like it matters, dude. But
Coincidence, it must be, right?
yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like
just like him killing himself. Oh, good
yeah,
timing.
and Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle all being black.
Yeah,
It's all
it's just
coincidence. It's just
coincidence that
weird.
none of them have to do anything
Yeah.
with each other,
It's
dude.
synchronicity, man. It's the
Dude,
world just lines up.
sometimes the stars align, especially if you're a child trafficker. So this fucking
for
guy,
for rich fucking people, right? The
dude,
fucking powerful elite,
yeah, which
right?
is the worst part, is because he's like orchestrating these fucking fuck parties with the world's most powerful people, and then so he gets indicted, right? He gets indicted for the actual crime of uh like owning child pornography and pedophilia,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah. He
right?
had all kinds of counts.
Well, so he gets arrested, he gets charged, he gets 1 year probation, house arrest, where he can leave whenever he wants.
Okay, so when was this then?
That was like the early 2010s,
Okay,
like maybe 2014,
gotcha.
2015,
So you're
something like
talking
that.
about the first time he was indicted.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So then I guess the DA of New York was like, hey, you know what? You can't do all these sex crimes. You got to stay at home, but also you can go when you want. It's not like a big deal.
It was house arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens. And then a couple years later, he's doing the same thing. He's rearing his old fucking child trafficking head up again. And then people catch wind of it and they're like, all right, we got to slow this guy down. Bill Clinton flies on his plane. Bill Gates flies on his plane. The head of the WHO flies on his plane. The head of dude, literally, whoever is in charge of the most important organizations in the world at one point or another was like, "Yeah, I'd love to go to your island, dude. That sounds like a fun. Well, we're gonna fuck a bunch of kids. Sign me up, dude."
Wait, so, okay, where's this island?
It's like in the Caribbean.
Okay. And how long has he owned this fucking thing?
I mean, for the last 15 years at least.
And did he buy it with the intention of making it like Fuck Island?
Well, so here's the conspiracy. Here's like the real, like deep, dark, fucking evil conspiracy.
Okay.
Because I'm right now. All I've said is things that actually happened.
Actually, yeah, facts.
Here's
Okay.
some things with.
So this is conspiracy. Okay, this is our conspiracy theory episode. We're
Yeah.
going to conspiracy.
Yeah, we're gonna conspiracy it up.
All right.
So basically, it is rumored that he is a Mossad agent, that he is funded by like Israeli interests in order to secure capital, in order to increase the investment in Israel from like foreign nations. So
Okay.
Ghislaine Maxwell, his handler, the woman who kind of helped run his secondhand woman, she's still out. She didn't go to jail. She's not indicted. She's just like,
She's just chilling.
she probably changed her face with a fucking surgery or whatever, dude. She's probably in Beverly Hills right now, fucking driving a Rolls Royce with a new face.
Yeah, when we get like a new actress hitting the scene or something,
Yeah.
it'll be her.
If you see someone in some new spy thrillers that looks a little Ghislaine, that's her, dude. She's got a new face on.
She's in
And she's fucking
movies.
doing this.
Or maybe she's already started. Who's the new upcoming actress? We can take these conspiracies real fucking deep, man.
Yeah, nah.
What?
She's on SNL. She's hosting SNL this week, actually. She's like Maxwell. She's doing the at-home episodes, dude. She's got her iPhone. She's like, "This is the fuck island." She's doing skits from it. But dude, so like, she apparently is very like well connected to the British royal family. She grew up in England. Her father was a British socialite who like ran mutual funds for British people, stole a bunch of money from like British unions and pensions. So he's like, yeah. So
he's the cream of the crop.
Yeah, well,
stand-up guy.
Yeah, he's a real piece of shit. Turns out she's a piece of shit. Turns out everyone they hang out with are pieces of shit.
I think they're all pieces of shit, apparently.
Dude,
I'm starting to figure out.
This is my belief.
Not all.
No. This is my belief.
It was a joke. Let's just clarify.
Dude, my belief is that once you make a certain amount of money and that like food, shelter, water, anything you want is no longer an obstacle and you can buy and do anything, you just shattered that glass ceiling, and now the only way to get your fucking rocks off is evil shit, dude.
Well, like, yeah, there's not always evil, but there's definitely
not always evil.
But when and if everything's easy, you have, like create problems for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely like human psychology of like having too many options. I mean, there's the what do they call it? I don't remember what it's called. The abundance of options paradox or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. But essentially, like, people who go to supermarkets where they've got, like, 20 options of vegetable oil versus 5 options of vegetable oil are, like, less satisfied with their choice because there's so many options. You feel like you have to maximize. So it's definitely, like, in the psychology. So when you have no barriers, you can do whatever you want. You're gonna get fucking bored.
And that's what I think, that somehow fucking Epstein, whoever his fucking connections were.
Some people, when they get to that point of success, they start charity organizations and help people, and then apparently other people make Fuck Island.
Well, but here's the thing, Devin. What you're not considering is the same people who started those charities also went to Fuck Island.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation also took a fucking vacation in the Caribbean. Okay?
Were they one of them?
Well, allegedly, he was fucking buddies with the guy. I don't know, dude. I mean, like I said, this is all just fucking, I don't have the dossiers on this shit.
Not all of it's speculation. Some of the things you've told me so far are just on paper.
Yeah, some of them are the facts is that he did those things, and that's really how they like.
We know that he did those things. Who all was connected? We're not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably for good reasoning. Could you imagine the world collapsing if you found out that every single person with just an inkling of authority was also just fucking kids? I think the whole world would fall down.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to trust any authority.
Which no one does anyways now, but
that's true.
I mean, imagine like no one trusts the government. Now take it to the nth degree where everyone's like, we don't trust the government, and I think they fuck kids. So like that's like
or not even just the government. Like
anyone.
I don't trust George Clooney.
Yeah, CEOs.
He's
George
famous.
Clooney.
He's rich. He's probably banging kids.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the only.
He's not on the list, but
he never went. But you know what? He's got money. Who knows, dude?
Or George Clooney. He's probably a great guy.
No, he's probably dude. He actually does a lot for charity. I mean, sure, he goes to Fuck Island once in a while, but I mean, he does so much good for the world in the meantime.
He gets like a once a year pass for Fuck Island.
Oh,
if you do it,
dude. No. Oh,
If
could
you
you
do
imagine?
enough good in the world,
That's like if
what's
you
the optimum
d-
amount of good that someone can do where you allow them? Like you can go to Fuck Island.
like, well, okay, wait, like if you give a homeless guy $1, can you say a racial slur in public? Is that like the same thing?
What if
Like,
you give 1,000,000 homeless guys $1 and you get to
or
say, or no, sorry, if you get 1,000,000 homeless guys, let's say like out of homelessness. Let's say like you
oh,
make a major impact. Can you say like the N word one time?
uh,
I mean, I'm not the authority on it, so I'm
yeah,
not gonna
definitely don't
say.
try it, dude. I wouldn't suggest
No,
trying it.
I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna start like, well, if you do this, then you could say the N word. I'm not the authority on it.
Yeah,
But
dude, I wouldn't make that rationalization.
we're getting to some fucking sketchy water right here.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Ooh, gotta let the line
Yeah,
loose a
let's
little
reel it
bit.
back. Let's reel it back. Yeah, wait, what are we allowed to say on this? Have you drawn a line in the sand at all?
um, I mean, no, dude. I've said some wild shit. I said that Jeff Bezos gets pegged, um,
Oh
pretty
well,
repeatedly.
yeah, I'm sure
I
he
was pretty
does.
adamant about it. So,
That's
you
probably
know,
his thing, right?
yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, when you run the richest, when you have more money than anyone's ever had ever, sometimes you're gonna take
Dude,
inanimate objects
you
up the
know
butt.
what? Yeah, you just maybe Jeff Bezos can just be the new stand-in for all those underage kids on Fuck Island.
Yeah,
Jeff
unfortunately, he's
Bezos
kind of
could.
like, dude, he's like buff and he's like bald and like, it's not gonna have the same appeal.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, it might have this appeal, like, oh, I'm fucking the richest man in the world right now. Like, you might like that.
That's
That might really
true.
do it for him.
Yeah, like I'd fuck Jeff Bezos just to say I did it.
Yeah, dude, he might have to That might be his kindest act of charity is to volunteer his butt in order to save all those kids.
There you go.
Jeff, if you're listening, fucking get on it, buddy.
If you don't do this, you are part of the problem.
Open up that back door for charity, guy. You got to save the kids. Spread your cheeks and save the kids.
We've completely gone off the rails.
Dude, that's how it is. All right, all right. Give me another conspiracy. I'm ready. I'm reeling. I'm
Oh
going.
shit. Yeah.
Give me another one.
Oh, Bob Lazar. What are your thoughts on Bob Lazar?
Let me tell you about
Okay,
Bob
go
Lazar.
ahead, because I've been thinking about this lately
Mhm.
because of the Pentagon recently
Yeah.
saying that footage is legit.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of people who, when that footage they say
Mhm.
it's legit, they're like, "Well, shit, I saw that a few years ago." I'm like, "I did too." Like fucking Tom DeLonge and
Yeah,
his whole
fucking
fucking
Blink
day.
182 had it before
Blink
anyone else.
182 was putting that shit around. So I love that. That's like
I
one of
know, dude.
my.
It's the fucking
You
weirdest thing.
couldn't write that shit.
Dude, that's like Travis Barker discovering Bigfoot, dude.
Dude, that's fucking gold. The guy from Blink 182. But I mean that shit was out for a while.
Yeah.
And so people are like, well, it's not that big of a deal. But I think it is a big deal because they like confirmed and admitted it. We don't have to go
Okay.
like, well, I'm 99%
Yeah.
positive that that's real footage. We know for a fact that that's real footage. And then you watch that shit with that new assuredness,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, woo, look at that thing go.
Yeah. No, I just
Right?
I just talked
There's
about
no
it.
doubt anymore.
I just talked about it on my last episode that I published. But dude,
Oh, okay. So we're getting double
no,
dipping here.
no, this is good because I can't stop talking about it because I also can't stop
Dude, it's
talking
fucking
about
awesome.
fucking Bob Lazar. Okay. Aliens during this global pandemic, the government basically confirmed that there are fucking aliens and no one gives a flying fuck.
Well, yeah, that's the joke that I've been seeing is like during the pandemic, they're like, oh, by the way, there's aliens.
Yeah, and no
Try
one
to
cares.
distract us from the
No
actual
one
issues.
gives a shit, dude.
Yeah, because we're
And
all locked inside our homes.
well,
We don't know if we're gonna
yeah,
fucking die.
but I've been seeing like people say like, oh, those could be like Russian UAVs or they could be Chinese UAVs. You think if the Chinese government had vehicles that could shoot in and out of atmospheres within a millisecond, that they for 1 second wouldn't already rule the fucking world? Are you out of your
Yeah.
mind, dude? They're so organized.
Yeah.
You think if they had the capacity to just like fly it over the White House and just be like, boop, you're all dead, they wouldn't do it? Of course they would fucking do
I
it.
tell you one thing, they would have destroyed Fuck Island. They would have not let that fly.
Well, we don't know what their policy on child fucking is. I don't want to speak for them. I know that if that was my UFO, that place would be in the fucking dirt.
Yeah, but you know how advantageous would it be for China to expose America's elite on Fuck Island, right?
Oh yeah, if they like
Right.
took one of their
So
UFOs and just like flew it over
yeah,
there. Like,
exactly. They flew it over.
ooh.
Like boom, they zoom in. There's Bill Clinton. And it's like, yep, there he
He's like,
is.
he looks up. He's
Yeah.
like, oh
Oh
no.
shit. Boom, they just cripple the entire
Yeah,
US
dude. They just take it all.
elite.
They're like, it turns out these guys are
So
up to
that's
no
how
good.
you know that they don't have that technology, because they would have exposed
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein a long time ago.
Exactly.
And all his fucking buddies.
So here's what's crazy about what all this, like the CIA or the Pentagon basically confirming that this footage is real, is that in 1989, Bob Lazar went to a radio station and told his story that he got fired from Area 51, where he was working on reverse engineering alien space technology.
And that's when he was like blacked out and they did the low voice, right? The voice changing one. And then he came out with, right? That was the first one.
Yeah.
And then he came out with more with his name. He actually came out with his name. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's crazy about it is what he described in 1989 is almost identical to the technology that these ships are like displaying.
I didn't think about that at all, because he talks about how they move.
He talks about how they can move it like in a 3D space visually with zero propulsion, and that
he talks about the way that they like just the visually how it looks. And so when you see those videos, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, dude. So I mean that's the crazy part is like he said all this shit. He's like, oh yeah. I mean, we worked on spaceships, and it was pretty neat. He's just like fucking nonchalant about it, but like basically he described exactly what the Pentagon was like. Yeah, we don't know what the fuck these are. Yeah, I guess that's exactly what he was saying. So, dude, it's just been like, If you take that point where the Pentagon is like, yes, these are unidentified objects. We don't know where the fuck they're coming from. We don't know how they fly, right? And then you take the other point where Bob Lazar's like, well, this is exactly how they fly, and then they match up perfectly, dude. Area 51 is fucking real.
Yeah.
And then there's fucking, and then that's
trippy.
And then, well, but here's the crazy part is, according to him, what he was told by his superiors when he first started working there is that that aliens had been on Earth for a long time, and that they had found alien spacecrafts in like archaeological digs and things like that.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, that it was like that these were found on Earth.
Yeah.
They weren't like shot out of the sky, like these crafts that he was talking. Well, I think though what he says though, he's like,
I think the one in Roswell, or the alleged first one in Roswell, was like a crash landing that recently happened. But then they had tons of other crafts that they just found like in the dirt.
Yeah, if I remember correctly though, what Bob Lazar says is that he's not positive on this. He's having to like speculate on it, because, and that's the other thing that I find really interesting is that the people will ask him questions and he'll be like, I don't know that.
Yeah, which, I mean, if you like think of someone who's lying.
Okay, yeah. Like, so that's been my thing with the Bob Lazar thing.
Yeah.
My thing that I've told people is, it's Bob Lazar is incredibly fascinating because one of two things is true.
Mm-hmm.
Either he is lying.
Yeah.
In which case, it's the most elaborate lie. Like it's a very interesting display of human psychology, right? Of just this elaborate, deep, weird, fucking detailed lie that he's come up with. That's really interesting on like a psychology level.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's lying. So if he's lying, that's the case. Then the other case would be he's not lying and there's fucking alien spaceships. So either way, it's crazy. Either way, it's crazy.
I know. Either he's the world's most elaborate, like well thought out liar, or he's just telling the truth, and the truth is there's fucking aliens.
There's alien spacecrafts. I will say, okay,
so fucked.
Let me say right now, get it out of the way. I do know I have a bias, and that I do want Bob Lazar to be telling the truth.
Yeah, me too.
My reasoning isn't like I go to fucking UFO conventions and I want to be right and I want the aliens to be real. For me, it's like the technology potential of that. if we have that, like that's just exciting to me. The technology he talks about, like
Yeah.
if humans are in possession of that, given we can't really use it yet, but that's exciting to me, right?
Yeah, it's
The
kind of
forefront, the
it's
frontier of the technology is right there. It's really cool if that exists, right?
is it not kind of baffling that if that was a thing, if I mean, obviously it is a thing. They've confirmed that these are uh UFOs or unidentified flying objects that have
Yeah,
no visual propulsion system. And if Bob Lazar is telling the truth and that these are alien spaceships and that they fucking can just like
they could
they
create their own gravity and they can
yeah,
move.
if
Yeah,
these are all true, right? You don't think that someone at Area 51 with some Raytheon connections would have already sold that to someone and that we would already be flying Teslas and shit? Like it seems weird to me that they would be holding on to that so long. If those videos were taken 10 years ago, you know what I mean?
yeah, that's true.
You think like someone at fucking Boeing would have had a connection and been like, "Hey, can we get some of that flying tech and can we change
Well,
flight travel forever?"
the thing is that I think that they they just have the thing, but they can't replicate it because they don't understand how it works. Is what he's saying.
Oh, so you're saying that the UFOs are still they're probably piloted by some sort of
Oh,
you, or do you think that
yeah,
aliens
yeah.
are in the
You're talking.
UFOs?
You're talking about in the videos
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
fighter pilots. Oh,
yeah,
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, they. What I mean, it lines up with what Bob Lazar was saying, and then what he was saying was that they were flying them.
yeah.
So what he was saying is that we're capable of using them, but we can't like replicate the technology because we don't know how it works. Is what he's
Hmm.
saying. So we don't. Yeah. So what he's saying is that no one had any clue what was actually happening. So they could get in it and they could fly it, and they did do that, but they couldn't build another one and fly that one because they just don't understand it. Is what he's saying. I think.
I wonder how far off they are from that. Then, what do you think that time frame is? Do you think Elon Musk is like calling people at the
Oh,
Pentagon? He's like, "Hey, give me a crack at it, man. I'll
dude,
change the
Elon
fucking
Musk is
world."
one of the aliens.
Dude, that's what I've been saying. I said that in the last episode, dude. I literally said in the last episode, I said that he was on a family road trip and he was the family dum dum, and they were like, "Hey, let's all take the fucking flying saucer to Earth. Let's check out these
Let's check out
fucking hairless
Arizona.
idiots." Yeah, and then he's like fucking getting a churro or something. They take off without him. He's stuck on Earth. He's like, "Well, fuck. I guess I'll make PayPal. I guess I'll make Tesla."
Wait,
And
he
they come
was he?
back and they're like,
I thought Mark Cuban made PayPal.
"No, I was, yeah, no, it was fucking
Then what the fuck did
Elon
Mark
Musk.
Cuban make?
He might have been an investor, but Mark Cuban didn't
Oh,
invent anything. I don't think."
yeah, he's just rich. He just woke up that way
No,
one
well,
day.
obviously, I think he was very poor, and then he was very, very rich. But I
Yeah,
think he
no,
just
no, I'm
invested
not saying
well.
he had it handed to him. I think just one day he was just like, "Whoa!" It's like that the Malcolm Gladwell, the tipping point, right?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
just one day all of a sudden like, "Oh shit, I own an NBA team." Fuck,
yeah. Yeah,
look at that.
he's like eating his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in his mobile home, and then all of a sudden he wakes up and he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm on a private plane. Oh
Oh
fuck, it's
shit,
my plane.
is this
Oh,
mine?
well, fuck,
Nah.
that's Dirk Nowitzki. Oh, he's sitting next to me."
Hey,
Hey,
sometimes things do work out.
yeah, he's like, "Huh, I was eating a PB&J yesterday, and now I'm flying to New York to do the 8th season of Shark Tank."
Hmm.
Whatever, the 8th billion episode or whatever many fucking episodes. How many ever ideas they've stolen from those poor inventive people?
Yeah, and all the ideas they shot down too.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. There's so many ideas that they shot down that turned out to be like multi-billion-dollar. Like Ring, they were like, "Nah, it's not gonna work." And then Ring was like,
Yeah.
"Well, we're gonna keep going." And then Amazon bought them for like $4 billion.
That's what Amazon's just getting the sloppy seconds.
Yeah, dude. They just watch episodes of Shark Tank and be like, "Well, they passed on that. We'll take it."
We'll
And
take
then,
it. And you know what? We have
yeah,
our own distribution. We just fucking that's the
dude.
thing with
Yeah.
Amazon. They just can get anything to your house in like 2 days. It's crazy.
Dude, it's baffling.
Yeah.
Maybe they got that UFO technology. Maybe they're just
That's
like,
how they're doing it. I
yeah.
wonder how can
Maybe
you
Jeff
get
Bezos is one of the. Maybe he's Elon Musk's fucking alien brother, dude. Maybe they're fucking twins, and they both just got left here, and they're like, I guess we'll both be the richest people on Earth.
must be.
Who knows, dude? Elon Musk
Fuck.
named.
What were we saying? We were on something
Oh,
though.
we were talking about Bob Lazar and
Oh
the
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyways,
Dude, we get sidetracked.
that's good. That's a
We
good
get
thing.
sidetracked like a motherfucker. We haven't stayed on the same topic.
Who gives a fuck, dude? It's
No,
all.
it's okay.
It's the flow. It's the
I mean, if
flow. It's
anybody
conversational flow.
listens, I don't know if they're gonna be able to follow some of it, but
Yeah, if they take enough Adderall, they will be able
I think the
to.
problem is you and I say stupid shit, and the other stupid one
Yeah.
knows what the stupid person meant by their stupid shit. So we could just feed off of each other's stupid shit.
Oh, dude, that's my whole
Outside
life. It's
parties
just
might not
me.
be able to figure it out. Like,
Dude,
what?
that's my
Like,
whole
you're not
fucking life.
stupid enough.
I just say the
Consider yourself
dumbest.
lucky.
Dude, when I watched the Bob Lazar documentary, like for the first time, I was like at home. It was like a Saturday morning, and I was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna watch it." And then I watched the whole thing. I was like, "Holy shit, aliens are real! Aliens are real!" And then I get like a text like, "Oh, we're having a barbecue. You want to come over?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So I go to like this party, and I literally cornered like 7 people. And we're like, "Aliens are fucking real." Bob
Dude,
Lazar knows about aliens.
I did the same thing. Well, I watched the documentary, and then I also listened to
The Joe Rogan
the
episode.
Joe Rogan episode.
Mhm.
And my opinion is I kind of think that the documentary maker is kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, dude, he blows.
Yeah,
I mean, he's all right, but like he just kind
I
of ruined
also
the
didn't
whole
really
podcast.
care for the documentary that much. I mean,
Yeah,
it was cool to see, but like who's the fucking like Mickey Rourke or something?
yeah, I know, dude. They got
Just
Mickey Rourke,
and he's just like spouting this weird like David
esoteric.
Lynch
Yeah, dude.
alien type fucking poems or something. I don't know. I didn't get it. But it was when I
Yeah,
listened to the Joe Rogan episode, I did the same thing. I was just like the fucking next person I saw, I was like, dude, it's fucking aliens, man.
I know, dude.
Aliens.
It's so fucked.
I cornered my mom. I
Yeah,
like, Mom, there's aliens.
and she's
Like,
like, "I
what?
don't give a
I
fuck,
don't give
Devin.
it. No, I was like, listen.
We still gotta pay our rent. I don't care if there's aliens."
It's like, no, you don't get it. Bob Lazar has seen this technology. No, I did. I was tweaking on it. And then I was like, oh, but it might be bullshit, so I probably shouldn't
Yeah.
go around it. Yeah, so that's the other thing. That's the thing with conspiracy theories. That's what,
Mhm.
that was the thing that I was going to say. I figured like this was a good opportunity. That's the thing with conspiracy theories is like my philosophy on the concept.
Mhm.
Is there's two extremes and you want to land somewhere in the middle. Because in the one extreme, you're the naive dumbass that believes everything the government and the internet
Yeah.
and the media, everything ever tells you, right? You're that blind patriot, right?
Yeah.
Then you feel like an idiot if you end up being wrong. The other flip side, you're the kook, you're the crazy guy,
Yeah.
right? And so that's the thing with conspiracy theories is like you're trying to like find this balance with, okay, this stuff looks suspicious, but it could be coincidence. So I don't want to be the crazy guy running around, cornering people at parties about Bob Lazar. But you
Yeah.
also don't want to be like completely naive to the thing. So that's like the balance I find. The joke that I tell a lot of people, I actually heard it from Bill Burr.
Mhm.
It was like an episode of one of his podcasts, and he said he heard it from someone. But the joke goes like this. So there's a guy who's a conspiracy theorist who's really into conspiracy theories, and his like favorite one, the epitome for him is JFK assassination. So he spends most of his life, digging into the research, watching documentaries, watching the Oliver Stone film. He loves that shit. Well, at the end of his life, he passes away. He dies, and he goes up to heaven. And at the gates of heaven, he meets God, and God says, "Good job. You lived a good life. You get to come on into heaven. Before you do, though, you have the opportunity to ask me one question. You can ask me anything." And the guy goes, "Easy. JFK. Who killed him? What happened on that day?" And God goes, "Well, that was Lee Harvey Oswald. He killed JFK, and he acted alone." And the guy goes, "Oh my God, this goes higher than I expected." I fucking love that joke.
Yeah, it's so dumb, but it's so good, dude.
But that's a good representation of conspiracy theorists and like the
Yeah.
conspiracy theory mindset. And the epitome for me on that one is fucking flat earthers. Can we talk about them for a second?
Dude, Oh, I don't have
I
time
was,
for those people. I don't
I'll,
have
I'll,
time for it.
I'll give him this.
Yeah.
And I watched, it was Jim Norton.
Hmm.
He was on that Netflix show where they, it's like the stand-ups where they
Oh,
do,
the Degenerates. Yeah.
yeah,
Jim
the
Norton's episode
degenerates.
of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Degenerates. Yeah.
Yeah, so watching that one, and he makes the point that flat earthers aren't hurting anybody,
Yeah.
right? You have like Sandy Hook deniers,
Yeah.
Holocaust deniers, and they're denying someone's pain. Those are the examples that he uses. And his point is that the flat earthers are not hurting anybody,
Hmm.
right? They're not disparaging anybody. They're
Except for
just
anyone
being
who believes the world
stupid.
is round.
Well, yeah, I mean they might be assholes, but
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean. It's not the same as like being a Holocaust denier
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
at all, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting about them. But it's like the thing that gets me is like, okay, let's assume that you're right and the Earth is flat, and
Mm.
everybody's been lying to us about it.
Yeah.
So what?
Dude, okay.
Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, well, I mean, the conspiracy is that the Earth is flat, and then that there's like it goes deeper than just the Earth is flat. Like,
Well, it has to, because then you have to completely deny all understanding of like physics,
yeah, well,
astronomy, and
yeah,
you have to
no,
completely.
it's like taking
This,
dude, it's taking the crazy conspiracy stance and then taking it to its utmost final of evolution of just being like, none of this is correct. Everything
so
you've ever been
yeah,
told ever and all time is incorrect. That's basically
that's
what flat earthers are doing by
yeah, and
saying,
that's what I
yeah,
mean by they're like the pinnacle, the epitome of
yeah,
like that joke.
yeah,
Like I saying,
yeah,
"Oh my gosh, this goes higher than I expected." That's
yeah,
flat earthers.
yeah.
Though there's the one guy that can't remember his name. He did basically like he just went in and interviewed all these guys at like one of their
Hmm.
conventions. And I just found it on YouTube. And he's asking these one guys about their evidence, because they said that they did like scientific research
Yeah.
that proves that the earth is flat and not round. And so the guy's like, all right, well, we got to ask some questions about this shit. So these guys, he asked them what they did, and they said they went out. They're like in Chicago area, and they go out in the lake, um, like 50 miles, I think it is. And they go out there and they calculated if the Earth is round, then we should be able to go away from the Chicago skyline on flat water. There's no hills or anything, on water. We should be
Yeah.
able to go away from the Chicago skyline. I think it's 50 miles, and if we shouldn't be able to see the Chicago skyline if the Earth is round,
Hmm.
right? So if we go 50 out and we can't see the skyline, that means the curvature of the Earth will block the Chicago skyline.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what they calculated, and that math, I guess, it might not be 50 miles. I don't remember exactly what it is, but the math that they did, I'm sure, is more or less correct. They calculated it. So they go out there, and sure enough, they see the Chicago skyline. They're like, yep, our theories are correct. The Earth is flat. So then this guy asks him, he's like, yeah, but you're on water. So the water will actually like refract the light in a certain way. So when you're over water, you actually have to go 80 miles out. Did you go 80 miles out? Well, no, the Earth is flat. And they just kept like, I can't remember the exact science of it, obviously, but
Dude,
that was the idea. And they just could like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll deny anything. And he asked one of the guys like, okay, what if I took you up in a high altitude airplane and showed you the curvature of the Earth? The guy would go, well, it's easy. I wouldn't believe my own eyes. I don't know who's been messing with my eyes. This guy's literally thinks that like the government came in and fucked with. If you can't believe things when you like
You can't believe your own
actually,
fucking eyeballs.
yeah, you can't
Dude,
believe it.
okay.
What are you supposed to do?
Dude, listen to
How,
this. I saw
like
this.
you're rejecting all evidence.
I saw this
Dude,
video. I saw this video of this guy, and he's like, so it was like a video of a flat earth guy. And he's like, okay, we're going to conduct an experiment where we have a gyroscope that is perpetually run by a motor, and it's measured by lasers. And if the earth is truly on a rotation, that gyroscope should change to 15 degrees, right? And then he's like, but our theory is that the Earth is flat, so this won't change. But like mathematically, this is what would happen. And then the guy's like, so what happened? He's like, well, we turned on the gyroscope, and sure enough, it changed 15 degrees. And then literally someone just cut in like Curb Your Enthusiasm music. It's like,
Bum, bum, bum,
and it's just him, like his face. He was just like, well, sure enough, it changed 15 degrees. And then he was like, like he was like sad. He was like, you know what I mean? Like this fucking guy proved it to himself, and he was like disappointed that the whole world wasn't a lie, and that it turns out the fucking Earth is round.
The thing is,
and he was sad by that fact, dude. He was like heartbroken that there wasn't an entire conspiracy to defy everything that's logical. He was like, "Oh, I wish the Earth was flat and there was some sort of dimensional overlords." He was like bummed out about it.
Well, that's the thing to me is that like these guys reject rationality so hard. They go so far with it that basically it's a religion. That's how I view flat earthers. Is I'm not viewing them as the same as I would like a JFK conspiracy theory guys, right? Those guys are like looking at facts and evidence, and they're looking suspicious. And they might be reading into some of it, but they're looking at some sort of evidence. These flat earther guys, they don't give a shit about any sort of scientific method.
I mean,
they're gonna believe it no matter what. They reject our reality to the point of it being a religion, is how I view it.
Dude, the reality is that conspiracy theories are the ultimate form of entertainment, because you can go as deep as you're fucking willing to go. Because it's like
at a certain point, you could just say, you could just go, oh, well, we're on a simulation, or none of this is real. Well, yeah, fuck. Like, there's a certain point you have to like accept some sort of fact. Otherwise, you just drive yourself crazy. You wouldn't do if you think that it's all a lie, then don't go to work tomorrow. Quit your job.
Yeah.
Jump off a building. You have to accept some things that's real, right?
Jesus Christ. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
My point is you have to yes, your eyes and your ears and your mind deceive you. Your memory plays tricks on you.
Yeah.
You have to, though, eventually latch onto something. That's my point. You have to latch onto something eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you could,
or you can not.
Or
and then go jump off a building.
Well, you don't have to kill yourself, dude. You can.
No, you won't die though. It's not real.
No, dude, go watch Alex Jones. Go watch an episode of Alex Jones's radio show.
Okay, don't even.
Then research all those things, and then guess what? You're basically just writing your own Game of Thrones in your head, because there's an integral fucking storyline with 48 different characters, and he killed this guy.
Oh, dude, that guy can't even keep up. If you ask him to repeat what he just said, he doesn't fucking know what he just said.
Dude, he admitted it himself on Joe Rogan. He said, "Here's the deal. I'm kind of retarded."
Yeah.
He said that, and that's just what he said.
I'm kind of retarded.
He just said it. He was
we know.
Dude, but I'll tell you what, like, I don't care what your politics are, dude. That guy is either the funniest intentional performer or the funniest wait for it, or the funniest unintentional funniest human being to ever live, dude. Because
regardless, he's hilarious.
Dude, when he rips and he starts going and he's like, "It's turning the fucking frogs gay."
That's one of my favorite
dude, it's
that have ever come out of someone's mouth.
Dude, when he's talking about Hillary Clinton can't open the pickle jars, he's like, "There's a pop. There's a pop. There's a pop." He's like, the pickle jar. There's a pop. Guy. He's doing like all these minds. He's like, "There's a pop. There's a pop.
There's always a pop. There's no pop."
Do you see that last video of him talking about how if worse comes to worse during this coronavirus, he'll eat his neighbors?
Yeah, I didn't see the clip, but I think I saw a headline.
Dude, it's so funny. He's like, okay, he's like, "I don't want them to win, but if they win, guess what? I'll eat my neighbor. I'll eat his ass. I'll eat my neighbor's ass." And he keeps saying how he's gonna eat people's asses. Dude, I'm telling you, it's either the funniest unintentional thing ever done, or he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's like, "I'm about to troll the dumbest people in the world that listen to my show religiously and talk about how I'm going to eat people's asses, and they're going to think, oh, this he's really think it's going that bad. We're going to have to start eating people." No, he's just talking about analingus. Or he's so just like beyond his own fucking brain that he's just like, I'll eat his ass. And he doesn't realize that he's talking about eating everyone in the vicinity's ass. It's so funny, dude.
I subscribe to the former theory. I
Yeah.
prefer the theory that he is the most hilarious and dedicated human performance art piece in the history of time.
Yeah, dude. He's like,
That guy.
dude, what if Alex Jones, here's a conspiracy for you. What if Alex Jones was actually there is a conspiracy that he is Bill Hicks, the dead comedian who
What?
yeah,
I have
dude, yeah.
not heard
You
that.
never heard that? Yeah, dude, there's a
No.
conspiracy that
Who
like
says that? Where's that come from? Tell me about this. I want to hear this shit.
you've never heard this?
No.
Okay, so Alex Jones lives in Austin, Texas, right? His whole InfoWars is like based out of Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Um Cap City Comedy Club, I think, is in Austin. Was
Okay.
owned by Bill Hicks.
Okay. Was
And
that where Bill Hicks was from?
Yeah, he was from Texas. I think he was from
Okay.
Dallas, maybe, but I think
I don't know much about Bill Hicks. I've seen his specials.
No,
and
actually,
stuff,
no, he's from Houston.
but
He was from Houston. Yeah, I think he was from
okay.
Houston.
Yeah.
But
Which is in Texas.
yeah, yes, correct. But
Bing. Good joke, Kyle.
dude, so there's a whole conspiracy that when Bill Hicks died, he took a few years off and just came back and just gained like a little bit of weight and like changed his hair and just was just Alex Jones. Or that he,
as soon as we get done with this, I'm gonna go look up like comparison photos of Alex Jones.
Dude, I mean
Bill Hicks.
they don't look like that similar, but they do look pretty similar. And like
I could see like how they look similar.
Dude,
I need to look at pictures. I'm gonna do that.
Dude, it's I
That's
mean,
funny.
yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So it could just be a great performance arts piece. Like he could just be like the funniest comedian to ever trick everyone
Dude,
into believing
that would
everything
be
he
a Bill
says.
Hicks thing too.
Yeah,
That would
I
be a
mean,
Bill Hicks thing. At the end of it, he just goes, "You guys are all fucking stupid. I
Yeah.
made all that shit up. Fuck all of you."
yeah. By the end of it, he's just like,
And then he dies
guess what?
again. You're
You're
like, oh, he'll
fucking
come back.
idiots. Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah, dude. It's
Okay.
like it's almost like an Andy Kaufman style. Fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was
dude.
that Andy Kaufman character?
Uh,
What was the name of that character? I could not remember it.
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton. Thank you. I was talking about that Jim and Andy documentary
Dude,
on Netflix.
movie.
That documentary blew my mind.
Yeah,
That was
dude.
awesome. I love that.
It's almost like The Man on the Moon is just a great movie, but then when you see everything that went into that, you're like, oh fuck, that's a really good movie.
And that footage, it's just
crazy.
like crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like when you first start watching, you're like, okay, he's got to like, he's just, it's like an act, right? Like it's
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. It's just, but like you see some of that footage, like, oh my god, he thinks he's fucking Andy Kaufman. Like he thinks he actually thinks he's Andy Kaufman. I think.
Yeah, dude, he thinks he's channeling his fucking spirit, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm Andy. And he does something weird like I'm Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's
Well,
so
then that's the
fucking
thing
weird.
though, that you see like some of the interviews with Jim Carrey in recent years, where when he had like the beard and the long
Yeah.
hair, and like he interviewed in that documentary, and he's talking about like we're all just playing a character, and today I'm playing a character, and his name's Jim Carrey. And I realized that we're all just playing. And he's talking about like this shit. But when you think about what he's saying, like he's not wrong. He just kind of sounds a little crazy because it's coming from Jim Carrey. Like, wait, is this a bit?
This is the same guy who spread his butt cheeks and talked out of his ass for Ace Ventura. Are you out of
Like,
your fucking mind, buddy?
Twice in the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
But
It's like a running bit to use his asshole as a mouth.
But that's what I mean is like he actually, like, I think by doing that, like, deconstructed his own ego and his own psychology in a way that he never intended.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I think of it. I don't know. I love that documentary. I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That guy's super interesting. I don't know. That shit blew my mind though.
Dude, it's weird to like see when someone is like at the echelon of like when someone's like really funny, like especially like Robin Williams or Jim Carrey, who are just like comedically, physically really funny, but then like, or even like Adam Sandler to an extent, like at some point, like they've done so much like funny shit that eventually like they start to loot and like they become so famous and they start to like get this like almost, I don't know, this aura of just like unreachable height, right? And then eventually, like every single one of those guys starts pivoting towards like, I need to start doing dramas and I need to start doing serious films. And it's so weird because it's like, I mean, you think intrinsically all those people are extremely funny, and you think that the one thing they'd love to do more than anything is make people laugh, and then they all do things where it's like, I'm gonna be really, really serious and fucking melancholy for like a couple of projects. It's so weird, and then they all have like these arcs and phases where they're like, "This is my blue period," and then they all come back and like start doing funny shit again. But it's so weird, dude.
That's because comics are just strange. Artists are
Yeah.
just strange people.
Yeah, do you think about like anyone who's like willing to like fucking like I'm gonna be a comedic actor, and they go up to the you know what I mean, and they dedicate 10 years of their life just to making that happen? You got to be out of your fucking mind. Which but I mean, like, still,
no,
like,
I
you
mean,
gotta
you're
be
crazy too.
out of your fucking mind to like put all this time and energy into something that's like a 1 in a billion chance. That's crazy enough. And then you get it, and then you're like, oh fuck, I won. And you're like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do with my hands. Fuck. And you're just like,
well, that's the thing too. I love comedy. I love stand-up comedy, and I don't mean this at all to be devaluing to anybody who does it, but at the end of the day, you're putting all that effort into telling jokes.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you do it. I love those guys that do it. Like,
yeah,
it's awesome. Like, go for it. But at the end of the day, it's just telling jokes.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, like, people like want to like cancel culture, for instance. Like, people tell a joke that's offensive. Like Dave Chappelle tells a joke about transgender people, or
that's
like
the one
anything.
that always
yeah,
is
dude,
always
if he tells a joke about trans people, people are like, this fucking scum of the earth needs to be fucking scraped off like a barnacle off the taint of Mother Gaia. He's a fucking piece of human trash. And meanwhile, at the same time, he's doing a thing where he tells fucking jokes. Like, it's not that important. He's not the president, and he's not looking into the camera at the Oval Office going, the funny thing about transgender people, you know what I mean? He's not like the fucking president. Like, he's doing is people pay to go see him do fucking tell funny things.
That's what gets me, is if you don't think it's funny and you have a problem with it, then why are you watching it?
You don't have to subject yourself to it. That's the stupidest
You're
part.
Like, I hate jokes about trans people. Well, then don't watch Dave Chappelle.
Well, then just mute the TV.
Yeah.
I mean, they can literally, it's so stupid because, like, okay, I get, like, if you like, I like all the other jokes, but the trans ones, they really bother me. Like, okay, that's fine. But also, if you don't like jokes that offend you, don't watch anything with jokes in them, because the odds are that some of those are going to hurt your feelings if you can be offended by a joke.
If you get offended by comedy in that context, right, where it's a guy on a stage telling jokes. Yeah. He's not in your house pointing his finger at you, making you feel bad about yourself. He's on stage across the country like 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
That happened 2 years ago.
That happened 2 years ago. You're getting mad about jokes he told a few months ago.
Yeah.
He didn't he's not telling this joke right now when you're getting mad about it. It's recording of it. Like, so, and if you're getting upset about that, then you probably shouldn't watch stand-up comedy.
Or you should do your own stand-up comedy and then realize how unfunny you are, and that maybe other people with actual fucking senses of humor. And the only,
maybe if you've told a few trans jokes,
maybe you finally you're like, oh, I wanted to start doing stand-up because I didn't like any of the jokes that were being told. I started doing it, and I realized it wasn't very funny. I started telling trans jokes, and guess what? Those are funny. And
I'm famous now.
You just flipped your whole script. You're like, okay, I think I can kind of change my opinion, because some of those trans
I did a complete 180. All I do are trans jokes.
Now I got a really tight 20 minutes. I can't.
And it's wall-to-wall trans jokes.
It's just pro-wall 2020 Trump trans jokes, and I really kill in the southern markets with it.
My name is Alex Jones.
My name is Bill Hicks doppelganger, and
I'm Bill Hicks, and I'm trolling all of you. That's funny.
Yeah, dude. It just baffles my mind that you could even, anyone who gives a fuck about, like, if you see a tweet that upsets you or something, and then like, or okay, here's a better example: people commenting on YouTube videos. Could you imagine at all for 1 second, and ever in your life, signing into YouTube and then being like, this motherfucker needs to know how I feel, and he's never going to read it. He's never going to see it. Could you imagine taking 5 minutes to think about how you want to phrase whatever stupid bullshit no one's going to read?
Even better. After one of those assholes does that, you're the asshole that logs in to argue with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
dude.
then
You go into the
then
comments and you're like,
okay,
"Oh,
get
you
this.
son of a bitch."
Then there's a guy who logs in to argue with the guy who's arguing with the guy who posted it
And
on
meanwhile,
a video about another guy. It's
meanwhile, they're all in their fucking bathtub with their computer on their chest, just jacking off like. "Argh."
I think it's just the same dude.
Yeah, it's just one guy.
Yeah, it's
With
just
like,
one guy with a bunch of accounts.
he's
And he's
just got like 80
arguing
computers.
with himself.
He's like fucking. It's like a keyboard, a circular round keyboard. You know who fucking? He's like.
He's got like dual
Commenting on all
monitors.
the, yeah, he's like commenting on all the YouTube.
It's Bill Hicks.
It's Alex Jones. There's a factory of Alex Jones lookalike Bill Hicks. There's like an army of clones, and they're just like, and they're all turn to the frogs, gay. I'm gonna eat your ass.
It's like Brazil. All of them sitting in the like computer,
Oh,
like printing
dude.
shit off, and there's like the guy
They're
going
sending it
through,
up
and they're
the
sitting there,
tube.
sending it up the tube, like, oh, I got this whole argument thread about Dave Chappelle's trans jokes. Oh,
And then finally someone's like, just like Brazil, finally someone's like, you know what? I don't think these comments are really doing anything. And then someone comes up and drills a fucking hole in their head and lobotomizes them.
and then the
Someone's
movie
like,
ends.
oh no, he figured it out.
How it ended? Or what?
Oh no, he figured out that none of this matters. Let's fucking lobotomize him.
Dude, that's the real conspiracy. Dude, we were gonna talk about conspiracies. We'll just write our own conspiracies. We'll come up with our own.
Oh, dude, yeah, I would love to start a website where I just make up things like, did you know that every iPhone has a built-in database that every time you're naked in front of it will just measure your penis, and that goes directly to Steve Jobs, who isn't. He's not
All
dead.
Steve Jobs has
His
to do is
consciousness
press a button,
yeah.
and everybody in your contacts will get a text message verifying the exact length of your flaccid penis.
And he's not dead. He's just been downloaded into iOS, and he's the fucking Matrix that's like, I'm gonna look at everyone's cock, and that's how it happens.
He's like a doomsday device.
Dude, he's like Skynet just for looking at cocks, though. Oh no, Skynet went live. Oh, he's looking at all our cocks.
Apple's gonna get denied some government contract, and they're like, "We told you we'd do it," and boom, there goes everyone's measurement of their dicks. Everybody in America gets Donald Trump's dick size texted to him.
Tim Cook doesn't get a stimulus check, and then all of a sudden, everyone gets the size of fucking. Everyone gets Donald Trump's cock size. Everyone gets Pence's, and they're like, "Whoa, that guy has a micro penis.
What is this length, diameter, circumference? What is this?
Oh my god!
My god!
It has
Donald
flaccid.
Trump's dick size.
It has flaccid weight in grams. How do they even measure that?
Dude, this AI is getting out of hand.
Dude, yeah, that's what Google's doing. It's just using it's building a giant database of fucking genitals. And the NSA is just taking all the genitals of every fucking human adult person, just storing them on a hard drive. And then they give it to Jeffrey Epstein. He's still alive. He's on his island. He's looking at all the fucking dicks and vaginas. He's just scrolling through like, I can't get enough.
He's like playing matchmaker with him. Like this penis and this vagina.
Dude, what if that's how Tinder matches happen? What if the swiping doesn't mean anything?
Oh, it doesn't matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No one ever actually matches. It's just one guy like this penis, this vagina, and you just like boop, boop. It's a guy at the NSA. He's like, ooh, nice. Yep, that's gonna fit
invisible
in there.
hand.
Yeah, it's the invisible hand of dicks to vaginas. That's so dumb.
That's all dating is. It's just,
dude, that's basically all it is. It's just like all the invisible factors that say, how do I get this dick into this vagina, and what factors do I have to face in order to make that happen?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's weird.
Possibly. I don't know. I mean,
I think you're onto something.
I think for sure I'm gonna write that novel.
Jesus Christ. How did we get there?
I don't know, dude. Should we call it? We're at 70 minutes.
Oh my god. Yeah. No one should be subjected to that much bullshit all the time.
No one needs to hear all of that.
No.
All right, dude. Well, hey, that was a pleasure. I appreciate it. And let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
See you, bud.